Let me first begin by thanking CCG for their kind invitation for me to be here and say a few words on China and the world in a changing context, and to commend you on the publication of this very important book. It is almost trite to say that the world is facing many deep structural and perhaps existential problems related to global health, wealth disparities among and within states, the climate change crisis, as well as what we spoke about just a couple of minutes ago on the recent challenges with respect to geostrategic instability. These problems are extremely serious. However, it would be wrong to say that it is not without precedent. Since 1945, when the threat of nuclear obliteration was very real, humanity has always had to deal with grave and complex issues. Mao once said, although in a different context, that there is great disorder under the heavens, so the situation is excellent. I'm not sure that I fully share such an optimistic assessment given the situation today, but certainly disorder has been something which we have experienced before. So let's not be alarmist. Let us instead be rational, objective, and honest with each other, and most importantly, with ourselves. Globalization has brought humanity closer together. In such an environment, the human family must learn to share better and to learn new realities. The West, which has been the dominant power globally for the past 200 years, has lost this position. In 1970, the G70 economies accounted for 50% of the global economy. In 2026, it is expected to be 29%. It will fall even further in time. The chaos which broke out in the West in the early days of the pandemic demonstrates the structural weaknesses of Western societies. As these developments occur, the West must accept that imposing its viewpoints and values is no longer tenable. The global South no longer needs to accept or pretend to accept that the West has the moral leadership of the world. Many equally legitimate views of the world will emerge. Once this reality is accepted, then fewer threats will be perceived, including from China, unjustifiably in my viewpoint, and there will be, hopefully, greater order under heaven. To me, since the period of reform and opening up, China has been a force of stability in the world. This has been the assessment of Malaysia since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1974. China is too proud, too powerful, and potentially too rich to be other than within the global economic mainstream. Since reform and opening up, China has continued to be an engine for global growth. It is an anchor for regional stability. It is trying to provide for global public goods. And just as importantly, it is an inspiration for the developing world, as many of my colleagues have said here. China is Malaysia's largest trading partner and has been for the past 12 years. Malaysia is China's 9th largest trading partner last year. Bilateral trade in 2021 stood at $176.6 billion, an astonishing increase of 35% given COVID-19. 23% of our population is of ethnic Chinese origin. Malaysia was the first ASEAN member to establish diplomatic relations with China. These demonstrate the fundamental strength of our bilateral relations. But notwithstanding these, Malaysia has issues with China. After all, there is a Malay saying, sedangkan lidah lagi digigit, even the tongue gets bitten. However, we have dealt with China for hundreds, if not thousands of years. We have dealt with China when it was strong. We have dealt with China when it was weak. We are dealing with China when it is re-emerging right now. Whatever the case may be, it has been generally productive and a happy relationship. The key idea is contained in that word, relationship. The overall interest has always been to maintain strong relations. Mutually beneficial transactions will follow as a consequence. This is what is meant by looking at the bigger picture. The pandemic has almost counterintuitively brought both countries closer together. I spoke of the 35% increase in trade last year. To build on this momentum, both countries agreed to establish a high-level committee for cooperation in the post-COVID-19 era, chaired by our foreign ministers. I believe that this is the first for both countries. The inaugural meeting was held in Zhejiang on the 4th of December 2021 in conjunction with a visit by my foreign minister. It dealt with a wide range of issues such as vaccine cooperation, GDI, collaboration in mega projects, trade in agricultural products, cultural diplomacy, as well as procurement of weapons equipment. We believe that this is, in our own small way, a contribution towards the creation of order under the heavens. Thank you very much.